Coming at you live from the 801. Let's boogie. Alright, let's get straight down to business, man. Let's get down to that first game, the Vikings versus the Saints. Whew. Who would have thought, man? I think that was the biggest game where everybody had the Saints favored. Man, but I'm super happy that the Vikings won. Obviously, they definitely had the talent. Dalvin Cook came out to play. Kirk Cousins came out to play. He looked really good, man. He finally got the monkey off of his back of everybody saying he can't win the big games. So, yeah, got one under his belt, and he said, "What? You like that?" And I say, "Yeah, I do actually." Because I don't know what's up with the Saints. They looked unstoppable towards the end of the season. I don't know, man. What can I say? Michael Thomas didn't really have a big game. So, yeah, the Saints came in. I think the playoffs might be their kryptonite. You know, 2 years ago they lost to the same team pretty much, and then they made a big deal about the Rams situation with not having a PI called. Made a bunch of shirts about it. Cam Jordan came out talking this week, saying that Kirk Cousins was trash. And I don't know, man. It seems like every time somebody doubts Kirk Cousins, he comes out and makes them look like little boys out there. So, yeah, just ask Zach Brown. For the Vegas odds on that game, Vegas, the Saints were favored by 8.5. Where I was wrong. My pick is the Saints. You know, Drew Brees. You got Michael Thomas breaking records. It's just, it's lining up for them. The stars are lining up for them. It's going to be hard to beat them. So, I fully expect that the Saints will actually roll the Vikings. And, you know, we'll see Kirk Cousins under the hot seat because he can't win a big one. Clearly, they didn't cover that because they lost. So that's where I was wrong. I thought the Saints were going to win. I thought they were going to win big. I knew it could get ugly if the Vikings got in a bad situation. But, hey, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Coach Zimmer, man, for the Vikings, he came out with a great defensive game plan, and he just showed his brilliance tonight. I think he kept going on those guards all day. And the strengths of the team was that offensive tackles on both sides for the Saints. So they just brought their two best pass rushers and brought them inside and got to Drew Brees a lot. Where I was right. And then the Seahawks and the Eagles, it just felt like the Seahawks just had them from the jump. Even if Carson Wentz was in, it didn't look like the Eagles had enough talent, man. You had your two tight ends, Goddard and Ertz, and then you had your two backs, Sanders and Scott. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, you need some receivers to go up and get those contested catches. And you can't do that with just pedestrians off the street, man. You keep bringing up practice squads, and it's a great story. I mean, you guys had a lot of luck with it with Nick Foles. Obviously, he wasn't a practice squad player, but having that magical season with backups, definitely the Eagles can do it. Just unfortunately today, just not enough talent on that field. The defense definitely held its own, but the offensive-wise, the Seahawks, there wasn't anything to be afraid of, that they could just take the top off or anything. So it wasn't really any, you know, swing of momentum. You kind of felt that the Seahawks had control of that game for the jump. But yeah, so the Vegas odds for Seahawks was they're favored by 2.5. Then they covered that by winning by 8, where I was right. They got Seattle favored at 2.5. I'll go ahead and take the Seahawks on this one. I feel like they're going to win. Not by a big margin. I feel like they're going to win by 4. So, yeah, long story short, bro, I just think the playoffs is just wild. You had the Texans go ahead and have a great game. Deshaun Watson and Josh Allen battling it out. And then you had Titans taking out the GOAT. And then you had the Vikings taking out the freaking heaviest favored team out of the wild card weekend. And then obviously the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, he's a hard man to beat in the playoffs. So super exciting. Everything lived up to its hype. We had 2 overtime games in the wild card weekend. Man, I can't wait to see what next week has in store for us. Follow me on Instagram, Hawaiian_TETI. I don't know if my editing skills will be good enough, but let's definitely point at the air anyways.